All right, everybody, I'm going to try this test again. Some walkthrough, going through the script. The account I'm sending this from is called bziffer at marinersmuseum.org. So I populated some data already here. This is a new submission. I just hadn't yet hit submit. So I put in a date, the setup time. This is when the room reservation should show 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. while the event for individuals on the event support teams and anyone invited to the event should actually show any individuals, not room reservations, should show the time of 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. And the event title here, I've got that in there, the description, name, extensions for both sets here, and then also this event should show when all is said and done, it should show on Bo Ziffer's personal calendar as well, and he should be able to delete that event across all the calendars if he deletes it. So that would be in maintaining what we currently already have without the script. Okay, so room reservations, reserving the Huntington and Anna rooms, and we will reserve a second room, and that'll be the technology conference room. We don't need a third room. This here, those resource calendars are not listed here. I thought I had given Waqar everything for that, so I'm a little confused on that part now. So Waqar, let me know what it is that is missing. Guests and attendees. So I've entered in two addresses here. They are separated by comma and then also a space. I can actually specify this to the users that it's separated by commas. And space. I'm not sure. I think what everyone's used to being able to do is in address fields in any other application, putting in a comma and a space, and then continuing as though it was normal text. So I wasn't aware that that was going to break the code. I think that's actually what most of us are used to being able to do. Or at least I think in Google Calendar, either they're automatically creating the space or the space hasn't caused anything to break in the past. In Google Calendar, where you say, I want to enter in somebody's address as an invitee, someone that you want to invite to your meeting, I believe here, if I start to list people, and then I do spaces, I thought that it would take them, oh, sorry, not here, in the emailing field. So if I start to email folks, that's what it is. Then I can start to add some addresses, and then I have to put a space in. Or even if I don't have to, putting one in doesn't ever end up breaking anything. And that's generally how that's always gone. So it recognizes that those are two addresses even though there's a space. So I didn't think that that was going to be something that had to be specified, but I'm glad that you saw what was causing it and fixed that for us. Okay, so moving on, I've added those guests and attendees. So both of those individuals should receive an invitation where the time is the 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., not 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. So now we're on to event support. We want to get some event support into here, so we'll say yes to that, and we're going to queue up facilities management for support and also technology and new media. So under the support request for facilities management, I've got one room here, Huntington room. I do want the layout to attach because this room does have a layout. Obviously, if they say no, then if there's no layout, then nothing should happen. Added in all the different various items to fill in every space in that spreadsheet just to check that every cell is mapping properly. And I'm going to say that I don't need facilities management set up in another room. Actually, no, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, I do, and then I'm going to choose another room. Now, this other room is not included in the room reservation, but since these things are independent, it should hopefully not break any of the code. So I don't need a layout for that, and I just need one or 4 tables in there, and that's all I'm going to add in that room. And now I'm going to say, in case anyone sees this, that this is fake setup, and I don't need facilities management in any other room. Actually, I will do this as well just to see what happens. I'm going to hit next. So now, technology and new media. Yes, I do need help from them. We will use Wi-Fi, and it will require special setup on the Paid Events Network. And now that support is going to take place in this particular conference room that's also managed by them, but it doesn't have to be. Setup with technician is required. I got the displays in here. Every field should also be populated here in the technology and the media section of the spreadsheet. So another room, no. Total number of attendees will say 10, and there will not be alcohol. There's no client or anything like that. This is an internal event. But I'll go ahead and specify something just to check those fields. We'll go ahead and put something into these as well. Put something into those as well just to make sure that the fields are mapping properly. And again, someone might see this, so I'm going to say let's see, trophy case delivered to Monitor Kitchen. Okay, all right, so do I need visitor services support? I'm going to say no, I don't want any of these other ones populated, and I'm just going to put in some text here just to see that everything maps up. This text doesn't matter, I just want to see that it goes into the event. Is this a multi-day event? Yes. Consecutive days? Yes. Does the event last for more than 5 consecutive days? No. We're going to make it a 2-day event. I believe I chose the 17th, so I'm going to say the 18th. I'm pretty sure. I've actually forgotten where I started with this. I should probably check that out. Oh, it was the 17th, so I'm going to make it a 2-day event from the 17th to the 18th. And now I'm going to hit submit, and then that should submit something. So let's see. Actually, I'm going to hit edit my response just to make sure that that date worked out. Yeah, that was right. So walking through all of this, this is a lot of clicking to have to do. It would be great if there was a way functionally in Google Forms to allow us to jump straight to a section that needed to be updated and then go beyond that. I don't know if there's any way to build that kind of logic or what that means for the code. So I'm clicking through every field again until I get to the submit button just to make sure that it was submitted properly. Okay, so now a couple things should happen. BoZipper should have an edit URL link, or a link to edit the form that he submitted. So here I am in BoZipper's account, and again, I still don't see anything. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. There's still nothing showing up here, so I'm assuming that the calendar event still is not created. And if I check his calendar as well, on his calendar on the 17th and 18th, I do not have my event that I made. Nope, it's not showing anywhere actually. All right, so that's not looking good. I'm going to submit another response while we're here. I'm going to use the same date, and I'm going to choose a different time. We're going to say 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Okay, so again, should show on the calendar. I'm going to see what's breaking this code here, so I'm going to actually simplify this by making this a technology conference room reservation only. Well, no, I'm going to actually just reverse these. So it's still going to be similar to what we had before. So I'm going to use a comma here and no space just to see what happens, but I'm still inviting the same users as before. Do you need any event support or equipment? No. Or yes, excuse me. Facilities management, yes. I want a room layout for the Huntington room, and we're going to go ahead and go through all of this again. 6, 2, 5, 3, 1. I'm just trying to fill in all of the fields and make sure that they actually are all doing something. Oops, shows the same item here a couple times. We're going to do lights, and we're going to say heat. How many doesn't matter on that. Remove this from your folder. Tina. Internal note, wouldn't make sense to anybody else but us. Need facilities management set up in another room? No. Okay, so technology, yes, we need help there. We need Wi-Fi, and we need the premium Wi-Fi. So we're going to ask for technology support on the front lawn, actually, even though it's not reserved, because it's not really reservable space. And I'm going to go to the training needed. I need the projector only, and I need a TV with speakers. I need one wireless mic. I'll also say a podium mic. None of this makes sense necessarily, but we're going to populate it just to see if this form submits properly. This is a long video. Computers and tablets, I also want an iPad mini, iPad, and 3 of those. Power strip, barcode scanner, credit card swiper. Total number of attendees 10. Again, no alcohol. Leon. Take to front desk. Oops, didn't map this one. Testing. No support from them. No support from them. Just entering in some random text just to see if it copies over. It is a multi-day event. Yes, no, and pick the 18th. Submit. All right, so that took a while, but 13 minutes in, let's see if we've got anything from that first event. We still do not. So that must have been broken somewhere. Not sure how or why, which begs the question, if things break, I'm wondering what exactly your workflow is for notifying us of something breaking in the code, because if our users hit submit, they're going to expect that something's going to happen after that. So wanted to know, realistically speaking, how much or how fast can you respond to those things. Okay, so here we go. I've now got something from the event that I just made, but not that first one. So here is the edit link. Great, so all of that's in there, and that's fine. And now the invitation. So I had said that I want this event to show up on Bo Ziffer's calendar, which is the account that this was submitted from. But I'm noticing one thing that's already kind of an issue, that all these invitations are coming from Apps Programmer. I remember you had said that if we need the resources to be owned by another account, then that would be possible. What I did not realize is that the invitations were going to be coming from a totally different account than the person that submitted. Since the form collects email addresses, I kind of wonder, is there not a way? It just seems intuitive to me that the invitation should be coming from the account that actually submitted the form, not whatever's going on here. I'm very confused as why G Suite Programmer at marinersmuseum.org is the calendar sender here. So if you could explain that for me, that'd be great. I'm wondering if some of the logic behind how you built this can be written in a document so that I can kind of make sure I can understand everything as well. So when I open that up, I should be able to hit yes on here, but really what I want is Bo Ziffer shouldn't have to receive an invitation asking for it to show up on his calendar. It should just show up on his calendar. So just like when he's in calendar now and he creates an event, it shows up on his calendar immediately, and then he invites other people. So that's really what we were looking for on that. And let's see. Let's take a look at this form again to just check what I submitted in here. See that the event time is from 8 to 9, and the invitation on his calendar is 8 to 9. So that's right. That's good. The room reservation, however, should show 7 p.m. to 10. So let's see how all of that works. It looks like the event does have other things that we need populated on there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to minimize this window, and I'm going to bring over the window for one of the event support folks. So this is someone that would have been under the technology department. So they did receive an invitation to the event from 8 to 9, and it's labeled as event support based on a filter that they have. And then it's based on a filter that they do have on their own email inbox already. But what would be great is if the subject line for this invitation can say event support invitation instead of invitation, and then this person is actually having to populate event support on their own. So that's one thing, but everything else on this looks pretty good. So if this person says yes, they should now be able to see it on their calendar. Just checking if they see it on theirs. Yes, test please ignore. It shows up right there. So they're able to see it across 2 days, which is great. That's exactly what we wanted, so that's awesome. And then as a support personnel, they should be able to click on these links. So there's that folder. This is direct link to the work request, and then this should be a direct link to the layout. So all of that works great. That's exactly what we were wanting and hoping for. Let's see, what else can we test? Let's see. So the event support notification that went through room reservation. So let's see what happens with the room reservation. I'm going to look at this account here. So this is the account of the person that handles room reservations, and so there should be an email received. There it is. Now this user has room reservation, has a label, an automated filter where the label changes color based on certain criteria. So the room reservation email comes in as a room reservation email. However, again here, it'd be better if the invitation actually had the words room reservation in it. So it would say event support for event support, room reservation for room reservation, based on what address was sent, things were sent to, or based on what questions were answered on the form. And then I'm noticing, however, it says 8 to 9, so that's still wrong. The room reservation calendar is supposed to show the times of 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., and I do recall talking about that recently. So that's still something that's broken there. Other than that, the last thing to kind of test, let's take a look here, is whether or not the user can do everything that they should be able to do with their own event. So here's this is the calendar of the person that created the event, and I want to update it. Let's see what happens. I'm going to change, if I change something to 8:30 here, and then I hit save, I'm already getting a notification that this is only going to be reflected on this calendar, so that's a problem. This change should go across all of these like it normally does in Google Calendar, so I'm not sure why that's happening, other than unless it's because everything from this form is being added to the calendar of the apps programmer, and that's not what we were looking for. Understanding that the resources belong to them, as far as like Google Drive folders and whatnot, like I kind of get that, but we were, if I'm remembering correctly from the statement of work, and I can kind of pull that up and see, there was a comment in there where Waqar had said that all of the programming would run on the account where you created the script. However, one of the questions that was asked was, can people edit their own files from Drive? And you said that yes, they'd be able to do that. And the way that they're doing that now is they're getting their files sent to them in a link. However, that file isn't, it's not actually in their Drive. It's just a public folder is what it looks like to me. So if I went to Google Drive, yeah, it shows that this folder was simply shared with this account because I must have shared it myself at some point, but it doesn't show. It doesn't show under my drive automatically. So there's a lot with this that doesn't really seem like the automation is working out the way it's supposed to. So I think we need to clarify some things to make sure things are what they need to be. So if I'm looking at this calendar here, this shows that the calendar that this got added to is event request calendar test. I'm not sure why that's there instead of just saying Bo Ziffer's calendar. So why it's on this, I'm a little confused on that. Also, the outreach calendar for some reason is automatically attached to this event, but we never specified in the form, in the submission of the form, for it to show up. So I'm not sure why that's there. The invitations, again, are coming from the apps programmer, but should be from the form submitter, and the event owner should be able to delete their event as they can already do without any coding applied. So let me see, I'm going to go ahead and hit remove all instances, and so it's gone from there. Let's see if it also deleted from the other individuals' calendars where it should have. So from the room reservation calendar, from the room reservation account rather, it's still there. It's still there. And it shouldn't be. It should have deleted already because the first event was deleted. The subject of the response edit URL could actually be a little easier to read as well. And so that would be where this says request edit link. This should say something. I'll send you something for it. Form request edit link or something like that. I'll send you the text for that change. I would like to actually make an adjustment in the form if it doesn't break your code, and that would be taking these times, and instead of having someone put them in manually, I think I'll actually would like to make a drop down that just has times in 30-minute increments of 1 a.m. all the way down to 11 p.m. And so what goes into the spreadsheet would still be a time, but they'd be selecting it rather than entering it in this way. Let me know if that would break anything. And that is that's the bulk of it, I think. So that looks like quite a bit left to still work on. I want to know for sure what's missing, or what you maybe still need from me. I know this has ended up being, I guess, more complex than you initially had thought that it would be, and so that's why I'm trying to make sure that everything's clear going forward. So give me a call. You guys got my phone number at 757-591-778. Between the hours of actually 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. would be better, Tuesday through Saturday. But also you can video chat me and all of that, email, all of that kind of thing. But it looks like that's about. Let's see, I wrote this down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's at least 8 little bugs or weird things that need clarification or fixing. All right, I'll go ahead and send this over to you guys now.